Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and gamers, to a redstone tutorial for a kelp farm. Now, this is a very basic kind of style of kelp farm, but it works extremely well. It is fairly simple, and I'm sorry for any lag, but we are in a snapshot, which means we do not have Optifine, and we're about to experience some when we set this machine off because I have waited until everything here is as grown as it can possibly be. Now, I want to make it very clear, there's nothing in either of these chests, and if the lag is too bad, we will be cutting right here, and I'll show you the results. But if we set this to on, and then we punch the note block, it'll fire. Alrighty, so we had a little bit of a mishap. It accidentally fired this twice on two full ones, but each one will give you about a double chest total of kelp, which is fantastic. And the way this works is that this daylight sensor will notice the time change and it'll fire every 10 minutes if you want to go AFK. You can turn this to off to prevent it from being a lag machine when it does go off. And if you activate the note block, it will fire because of this upwards facing observer. Now, the tutorial here is just this. Put a lever on a note block with a daylight sensor on top. I'll explain how to make the flying machine momentarily, but we got to go to the other side real quick, and I want to show you the return circuit. So when it shows up, the observer detects it. 1, 2, 3 ticks, goes up here, and then 3 repeaters on full delay into this hopper. It'll activate the hopper, which will the observer will detect and send it back. The reason why we want to send it back is simply for the fact that it needs to be on one side for it's a quality of life reason, because you're able to have this. It's a big farm, but if you put this in your base and you just have this little bit exposed, there's not a problem with it. Like if you decided, all right, and here is the machine, and you have it just in your base, like right here, this would be fine. Just as long as the daylight sensor has access to skylights, you can put this wherever you really want. We're going to move on to explaining how this works now. So the way this works, and we're going to have to put up a few of these, is it is a very basic flying machine. It's my personal favorite flying machine with a bit of a twist. And I just really want to make sure this thing doesn't fly off. So all it is, at the heart of it, is this right here. It is a sticky piston with a slime block and observer facing upwards on top of it. And what it does is that whenever it detects an update, it will fire. Now, because I activated it twice, it'll break. And that's the reason why we had to put the observers on top. So without the observers on top, the issue becomes that it will detect the kelp growing, and it'll break the machine if it does that. And the only way to get it back is to rebuild it, which is not something anyone really wants to do. So we had to put them on top, and it works just fine. Then obviously we take our slime arms, bring it out by 9 blocks, and then we put an iron block on the end of it. And this right here is 20 blocks across, 20 blocks deep, 12 blocks tall. Now, the collection system is the hardest part of this farm. What you have to do for this is you need to make a block layer, one underneath, and everything down from that layer underneath, fill it entirely with water. However you want to do that, just fill it with water. Put water sources on the end here, and then break all of those blocks, and I'll make a floating water source on top of it. Run it to the center, put 2 blocks in the middle. It doesn't have to be packed ice. That was an attempt at the beginning. It could be any block you want. Hoppers next to them, and the blocks are just to stop the items from flowing any farther. Put hoppers on top and run them into a bunch of chests, because you are going to need the bunch of chests. Now, it does take a while for it to empty out, but that is fine, because that just means you're getting so many items. But that's basically it. This is not a difficult farm. I did a test with soul sand. Soul sand does not affect kelp flowing up because kelp is on top of the block, so you don't need to be soul sand. It can be any block whatsoever. You can build this in the ocean. You can build it above ground. Whatever you want to do, it should work just fine. So that's going to be it. It's a very, very simple farm. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I think I explained this well enough, but if there's anything you don't understand, let me know and I'll follow up. I'll catch you guys back in the next one. Goodbye.